Men and women are not equal. They are not equal. They are not the same. They cannot be measured with the same yardstick. Men are superior to women in a specific way. Not in the way that you're probably thinking. If you're new to my channel, it's like, oh my God, is this guy a crazy misogynist? All right, hang tight for that. If you have been triggered so far, just hold on to that trigger. I'm going to explain all of this to you in a moment. And it's really important that you understand what I am going to share. Because if you are under the false impression that men and women are equal, that they are the same, then this belief is going to sabotage every love life opportunity that you have. If you're in a relationship, it's going to repel a man's devotion. If you are single, it is going to repel the masculine men that you need, that you want, the kind of man that's going to take care of you, cherish you, love you, protect you. I don't want that for you. You probably don't want that for yourself. So hang tight for a moment. My name is Zach Rohde. I'm here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams by learning how to inspire men into cherishing you, by you using your feminine energy and what I call feminine communication. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that below. Hit the notification bell and be sure to like this video because I'm going to make sure that it's a good one for you today. If you would like to learn how to inspire a man into claiming you and cherishing you by letting go of your unhealthy control patterns and unhealthy communication, be sure to go below this video, open up my description. All of my links to my offers are there. A great place to start is with my free women's webinar at thedreamrelationship.com. Okay, so let's go deep into this. This is a very triggering topic. I get it. Men and women are fundamentally different. Okay? In modern day Western society, we are often indoctrinated to believe that we're basically the same other than some skin deep differences. And this is not the case. We have completely different instinctual programming. A man has a masculine instinct. It is the instinct to protect, to provide, to cherish, and also to be respected and to lead. And a woman's instinct, it's a feminine instinct to let go, to open up, to be vulnerable, to be seen, to be safe. Right, to seek out that safety under the protection of a devoted man. I'm not going to go too much more into those instincts because I've hashed it out many times on videos and I want to focus on something else in this video. So, this whole idea of men and women being equal, it is a lie that has been perpetuated by feminist ideology. And what the truth is, it's not that women are inferior in the sense that like women are less than, right? It is that our value, our worth is measured very, very differently. So in a relationship or in a dating dynamic, the man is supposed to be the leader. He is supposed to be in the leading role. He is in charge. He makes the decisions. He's the man. He's the hero. He's the one that should be setting the expectations. It's his vision that the woman is following, just like in a dance, right? Man leads, woman follows. Now, I've said in other videos before, actually, just to point out my contradiction that I've made, that this dynamic does not make a woman inferior. It doesn't make her less than. And that is true, and it is also not true. It just depends on the definitions, the semantics that we're talking about. When a man is the leader, like think of the military, just as an example. The captain or someone in a higher rank is superior to someone of a lower rank. Okay? The lower ranking person or officer, they are inferior. They are inferior to them, to the higher ranking officer. And even the higher ranking officer can be called a superior. Right? And it's the same thing in the workplace with a boss, someone that's in charge of you. They are superior to you. Now that can be somewhat triggering for women. And if you are triggered by that, that's normal. That's understandable. Sit with that trigger for a moment because this isn't the full picture of the story. Because you are not a person in the military. You are not a low-level employee in a faceless corporation. You are a woman in a dynamic with a man. And in a dynamic with a man, it's very important that, yes, he is, we'll call him your superior. I know that might be triggering, but just sit with this for a moment. It's like, yes, he is your superior, but you have self-worth as well as a woman. It's just a different type of self-worth. It's feminine self-worth instead of masculine self-worth. Masculine self-worth, it's measured in terms of like that kind of ranking system, we can call it, right? Like the leader. That's high self-worth for a man. When he is leading, he is in charge. For a woman, it's not. It shouldn't be. Like if it is, then your relationship, love life dynamics are completely inverted and you're probably not very happy. For a woman, your self-worth is through your radiance. And the external manifestation of that, other than how you're showing up, it's dependent on how much the man is cherishing you, right? So if you're going to treat a man as your leader, as your superior, he needs to be treating you as this beautiful, cherished woman. Like he needs to be taking care of you. He needs to be providing for you. He needs to be protecting you. You know, think of like let's just make this kind of fun for a moment. Think of a James Bond movie, right? So James Bond, he's the British spy, and then he usually has a woman that's being saved by him for whatever reason. And what is he doing? He's risking his life to save her, to protect her. And it doesn't have to be James Bond. There's endless movies about this. The superhero, the spy, the hero in some kind of way, who is protecting the woman to keep her safe, who is risking his life to keep her safe. Why? Because when a man's masculine instinct is online, we're instinctually wired to take care of a woman in this way, to risk our entire life for that woman. Now, is that something that a general in an army is likely to do for his private who is much lower in rank? I mean, maybe theoretically, but probably not typically, right? Because he's just so important to the army. It would be in the reverse. But in a relationship dynamic, it's different. Because the woman is so important to the man, and because the man is wired to take care of her and protect her in this way. So her value is actually, or it should be, enormous, right? And of course there's so many dynamics where it's not. And the reason why is because women have been indoctrinated since birth to believe that they have so little value, that they have so little worth to a man. And they, you do all these things to try to be worthy, people pleasing and buying him things and, opening up your legs to him when you shouldn't, pleasing him in all of this ways. But your needs aren't being taken care of. Your needs aren't being met. You end up being used. You allow yourself to be used by the masculine, who's not even masculine, because, no truly masculine man, no man who is embodied as masculinity would use a woman in any of those kind of ways, because he would know he is there to take care of the feminine, to cherish the feminine. But if you lack that self-worth, you will attract the wrong kind of men who have not embodied that energy, and you will be used. And so you will be seen as and treated as less than. Okay? You'll be looking up to him as the hero, but he will be looking down at you as someone to take advantage of, essentially. Someone of very little worth. And that's not what this video is about, okay? Because you have incredible value, incredible worth. It's just measured completely differently than the masculine, right? So like you are inferior to a man in the measurement of what we're talking about, right? You're looking up at him as the leader, but we can call you an equal in like a totally different sense. And I'm going to give you one other example to really just hammer the crap out of this idea and make it more sense to you. So my daughter, she's 2.5, and we can say that I am her superior, right? Like I am of higher ranking than her, of higher status than her, because I'm her leader. I am there to lead her to, well, to do a lot of things, but to lead her, essentially. And that makes me not equal to her, right? I am not equal to my daughter in that specific sense of measurement. And yet, I would do anything for her to make her happy. That doesn't mean that I'm going to just bend over backwards and be a doormat for her, because that's not actually going to make her happy. That's actually not going to set her up for success in the world, success with men, success with anything, success with her self-esteem. But I'm conscious enough to know how to make her happy and how to make sure that she succeeds. And I'm willing to do pretty much anything to sacrifice my time and energy to give her the greatest opportunity possible for her to thrive. Okay? I am also willing to lay down my life, if it came down to it, to protect her. It wouldn't even be a matter of choice. So yeah, of course I would do it. Because she is the most precious thing to me in the entire world. Even more so than my wife, who is also, the second most important precious thing to me in the entire world. Now, what does that mean as far as equality goes? It's like, yes, she is so valuable, but she's measured in a completely different way. And I'm not just talking about through genes here, right? Because she's my daughter. Radiance, it's her innocence, it's her vulnerability, it's her inner beauty that makes her so worthy. Makes her so worthy of being taken care of. And this is something that in our society we don't fully recognize and understand yet. Like, we understand the ranking in the military, right? Like, the leader is more valuable in that kind of sense. And some men, of course, are tapped into wanting to protect a woman, take care of her and all of that. But we don't truly understand it in the way that we understand masculine value, masculine worth. My job with women, or the biggest part of my job, if we were going to really boil it down, it's to help women fully recognize their value, number one. Not value in a masculine way, not in as far as like what you do for a man, right? Like, you got to stop, and this is why I'm making this controversial title and start to this video, because you got to stop measuring yourself in any way like a man. Just start seeing him as your superior and recognize that your worth is completely different. It's like, you can let go of all of that power, trying to hold on to control, because that's not helping you. It's like, again, I'll just use my daughter as an example. It's like, does she need to exert control and power or even do things for me to want to cherish her and love her and protect her and sacrifice for her? No. Now, of course, there's a lot of crappy fathers out there, but I'm not talking about those, because you need to be attracting a healthy masculine man who's going to take care of you, right? Or if you don't have a really healthy one, then at least learn how to inspire that man to become that really healthy masculine man. And so when you have that kind of man, when you know how to inspire that from a man, you don't need to hold on to any control. And it's not going to help you to do it either. It's going to sabotage everything, because when you're holding on to control and power, it just repels a man, because you're not respecting him. And a man needs that respect, right? That's why I said you treat a man like your superior. You look up to him, because that's what he needs from you. Just like what you need is him to look down at you, but not in a like, ooh, a lowly nobody kind of way, but look down at you like I do with my little daughter, where it's like, I will do literally anything to make sure that you're happy in life. Whatever it takes, whatever the sacrifice. And it's not even a sacrifice. It doesn't feel like a sacrifice, because I'm programmed to want to do it. It's like, is it even a sacrifice if this is like the only thing that I want to do is make sure that you're happy, because my happiness is derived from ensuring that you're happy, right? For performing my role properly. Okay? but we don't understand fully what this value is, like what makes a woman valuable. And my job is to help women understand that, to understand that your self-worth, your feminine self-worth, what makes you valuable is not what makes a man valuable. Okay? First and foremost, it's just knowing that you are valuable, just intrinsically, just for being. It's not about what you can do. It's not about what you are. It's not even like what you look like. It's not about how well you perform in bed, anything like that. It's about knowing your self-worth, that you are intrinsically valuable just because you're you, just because you are a unique being, a woman. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that you can just be an entitled B word, but because then you wouldn't even be in your self-worth, because then you wouldn't be treating a man with respect either if you're being entitled, right? No man likes that. Being in your feminine self-worth means knowing how to use feminine communication to communicate your needs, to communicate your feelings, to communicate your problems, to not hold back. If you've got a problem, if you've got an unmet need, if you're feeling bad in some kind of way, you're communicating that. You're always communicating that. You're not trying to just deal with all of this stuff by yourself. You're fully opening yourself to your man. Like, imagine your heart was just fully open to your man and you shared everything with him all the time, or your future man, or if you don't have a man right now. You're just fully open. So he fully sees you all the time and he just loves everything that he sees. And that's one of the reasons I like to compare a woman to a little girl, like to a daughter. It's like my daughter at 2.5. She's fully open. She's hiding nothing from me. I know exactly what she feels all the time, and I'm just giving her love. I mean, some of her behaviors are inappropriate, so I have to lovingly correct her, but I'm still giving her, that's still a form of love. I'm still loving her all the time, so I'm fully seeing her and hearing her and holding her emotionally as well as physically, caring for her because she is so worthy. She doesn't have to do anything to prove her worth to me. She's already worthy enough. She just has to be. So it's that kind of contradictory thing of like, yes, you are inferior to a man. It's like because you're looking up at him as your leader, and you're not at the same time. You are equal, just in totally different ways. It's not just apples to oranges. It's like refrigerators to bathtubs, or like a car to a house. It's a completely different measurement that you cannot actually compare. It's your submission, because he's your superior, for his devotion to you, to cherish you and take care of you. And that's why I help women learn how to inspire. So if you'd like to learn how to do that, if you'd like to learn how to be that cherished woman, how to be fully taken care of, how to inspire a man to want to hear you, listen to you, take care of you, love you, protect you, compliment you, take you out, create an unending honeymoon for you, then make sure you subscribe to this channel, first of all. If you haven't done that, make sure you subscribe so you find more of my videos. And then go below this video, open up the description. You'll see all of the links to my offers and start learning. You got my Academy program where I help women go way in depth with this, with hands-on support. I got my live masterclass. I got my women's dating course. And for those who have done nothing yet and you want something to dive into, start with my free women's webinar, where I will show you what your control patterns are and show you how to shift them so that you can stop repelling devotion from a man and start inspiring it instead. That's it for this one.